believe a sophomore in high school, and I was running an errand for a teacher for another class, and the class was showing Singin in the Rain, and I walked into the class to deliver a message or something, I remember, and they were showing the video or the film, and they were in the middle of the jazz singer sequence, and I remember thinking, this is the strangest movie I've ever seen, and I sort of sat there mesmerized by it, and then it got to the "You Were Meant for Me" section, and that was the first time I'd ever seen Gene Kelly, and I was like, what's happening here? This is really cool.
It's always been a part of my life. It's always been a movie that I used to ask my mom to watch it when there was nothing to do, when it was movie time, when we had family time together. It was the go-to. It was one of the go-tos. I loved everything about it.
My first experience with Singing in the Rain is watching it as a very little boy with my mom, and she would tell me kind of all the behind-the-scenes tips about what was going on. So she would tell me who Gene Kelly was, and Donald O'Connor, and Sid Charisse. She narrated it for me as a little boy.
This is my first experience with Singing in the Rain. My first experience with Singing in the Rain was actually my sophomore year of high school. I played Lena Lamont with a very blonde wig, and it was an absolute blast. And so I just have I have very fond memories, really, overall, of both the movie and the stage production.
When I started dancing, it was very much to emulate, and I idolized Gene Kelly quite literally. And I wanted to do what he did, and this was a big iconic role that was connected to him, and I was excited about, finally getting to step in those shoes and be Gene Kelly, or try to be anyway.
Wow, I really don't know what my favorite is, because so far I like all of them.
It's a strong tie between Singing in the Rain and Good Morning.
I love most of the numbers, but I especially love Good Morning. It's just such a collaborative ensemble energy between the three of those folks dancing, having fun, exploring, figuring out, solving a problem, and celebrating it.
I think Good Morning fulfills the excited joy that we carry. I feel that Good Morning also fulfills the bubbles. It just blows the bubbles. It's nice and bright and loud and smooth and exciting.
So our Cosmo, Jacob Tischler, is absolutely hamming it up in Make 'em Laugh, and he never fails to crack me up with some new bit or discovery. He's always keeping it extremely fresh and vibrant. And he's also doing crazy athletics all over the place, so it's a real winner. And of course, nothing beats the title song, Rhett, in Singin' in the Rain. I mean, we've only seen him do it once, but so far it's just, I don't know if it's because it's like the iconic number, or, I mean, Grady's choreography is wonderful and Rhett's wonderful in the role, so it just all fits well.
I feel like Singing in the Rain is the calm joy that we always yearn to feel.
It's interesting. I think that the dance plays multiple roles in the show. It's not purely narrative. There are numbers that are certainly part of the narrative, but then there are certainly numbers where we just celebrate the musical theater, jazz, and tap dancing, which is a very American art form. And it's very joyful, and it's sort of the epitome of the MGM musical theater in its heyday. So it's celebrating the American culture, I believe, but there is narrative, so it sort of jumps back and forth, and it's interesting to sort of navigate, when is this actually storytelling and when is this, let's just have fun and celebrate this art form.
Because it's Singing in the Rain, and it should be.
The story is happy, it's fun, it's silly, there's romance, but there's also, history of the film industry and, going from silent film to talkies. And I think people enjoy being let in on the behind the scenes, of the movie industry. On top of all of that, it's just pure joy. And when you watch the movie, when you see it on stage, that's what you really take away, is seeing the performers have the joy of performing, of singing those songs and dancing those dances.
It's just a staple in our history of talkies, silent films into talkies, and the transition that our culture was going into.
It really captures this uniquely American optimism about, even if we get into a situation that seems hopeless, our ingenuity and innovation and our resilience will help us get through it.
There's great dancing, there's great singing, there's great acting, and the story itself of the underdog, this girl who really wants to be great, and she knows that she's great and she's fighting for a chance, which we're always rooting for the underdog. And I think it's so important to continue to see those stories. I also think that as audience members, we always want to see a great performance, and this show gives us that.
Make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh. Don't you know everyone wants to laugh?
It's exciting, and it's also nerve-wracking, and because we're so used to seeing the original. It's an honor to be here and to be playing Kathy Seldan. I'm elated. I'm so excited, but at the same time, I'm like, I want to make sure I do a really good job because it's Kathy Seldan, it's Debbie. I want to make sure she's great. But it's been a joy.
Recreating the role of Don Lockwood is sort of impossible. I mean, it's so iconic that most people don't even know it as Don Lockwood. They say a Gene Kelly role. In fact, there's even album recordings where the title of the song is Gene Sings, they don't mention Don Lockwood. So it's definitely big shoes to fill. But the other side of that is there's such a great example of that set. There's such a great style and a specificity in what that is. So I sort of see it as this great sort of guide and inspiration to sort of look toward. Fully realizing that, my Don Lockwood will be completely different than Gene Kelly's or anyone else's for that matter. It's definitely daunting, it's definitely intimidating, but I'm very excited to do it.
We are really committed to making it fresh and new, and to putting our own spin on these iconic characters and songs and dances.
Doing the story justice and the dancing and the original joy that story brings, and making sure that we're living in the moment, and that we're living and breathing each scene with each character, whether they're carrying a ladder across the stage or if they are about to jump onto the stage for a full dance number.
So it's really challenging to acknowledge and honor and pay homage to the film, and at the same time find our own way, because it's a completely different medium, it's a completely different time. We're looking at these ideas and hearing these songs through a different lens. So we can't really just do exactly what we did, more than 50 years ago now. We have to find our own way through, while at the same time honoring the original material.